Stephen.
And I'm Dave from Clap Clap Rider.
We've been together for a few years. We started off in Christchurch City and under the aliases of many other bands, moved up to Auckland probably 2 years ago now, and we've been going semi-strong ever since, I guess. Released 2 singles, a couple of videos, writing a whole lot of new stuff at the moment.
So in May we're going on a tour with an Australian band called The Scare, and we've played a few shows over in Australia and Sydney with those boys so far, and we're going to be heading around the country right at the start of May doing Christchurch, Dunedin, Wellington and Auckland, and a really killer band, sort of like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, a little bit more pepped up, so come along to that if you can.
We're currently working on our debut album, release, whatever you may call it. We've currently recorded 2 tracks. We did those in February at York Street and Studio 203.
Yep.
And we're writing the rest of it now, so we've probably got, I don't know, 10 or so tracks, maybe even more, just in the working kind of process, being demoed and fixed up and finished off and dusted off and stuff like that. So
I think the record will be coming out later on in the year more than anything else. We'll be releasing something, let's say, maybe within 5 or 6 months. We want to get everything ready and working and proper. We've got a video shoot coming up on tomorrow. That'll be for one of the first things. So we're just getting everything ready before we release it, I suppose.
Yeah. Have you got label interest yet, or are you doing this independently?
Well, we've been talking with
Labels.
labels, but nothing's kind of, you know, set in stone at the moment. We're just seeing what happens, and yeah, I think they want to hear our stuff before.
We're just going to wait till we get the record together, I think, and then sort of say, this is our record. Do you want to do anything with it? If not, then we'll just run it on our own.
Do you think that's kind of the way for bands that they have to do that these days? You have to do it your own self and rather than have a label first?
Well, I don't know, I think it's different in every kind of single scenario. Some bands get picked up straight away without, I don't know, like an album's worth of tracks. Some get picked up with 1 song, I guess, and then some bands get picked up after having done 2 albums and proven themselves that they're capable of writing awesome shit. So
I think with us, I think when we originally started and released things, we really wanted to prove a bit of integrity, that we could organise things, we could release things on our own back, and we really wanted to build up working on the live element first and then worry about labels and things like that after. I mean, we never really stressed about labels or anything in the beginning, and now it's more a case, I think, of getting music out there to radio and things like that. That's where a label's really good to kind of get in the mix and help with. One of those type of bands, I think, we've been pretty much stuck in the middle ground as far as alternative and major radio stuff goes. I think there'll be a lot of bands around in New Zealand that are stuck in a similar sort of place, where in New Zealand we don't really have a Triple J station or Channel Z like it used to happen a while ago.
someone should start that up.
Yeah, I mean, and
Well, I don't know.
well, the Channel Z that started on the nights now for The Rock is nothing. I mean, they're only replaying, unfortunately, the music that used to be played on Channel Z before Channel Z crapped out. And it's still only the rock side of things that they're playing. It's not really effectively a real Channel Z like it was, for those that remember it. But I think that one of the reasons we're making a bigger focus on Australia is because there's a little bit more of a place for it there. I mean, and we've got more options to tour in Australia, and Australia's pretty killer to play as well. We're received quite well over there when we go over there. But
It's a weird kind of thing, because I think from our Australian shows, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing to say, but the Australian people find you cooler than New Zealand people, if that makes sense.
yeah, there is a little bit of an underdog thing, I think, in New Zealand. Whereas if you're noisy and unstructured and as weird as you can be, that's cool, even though people in the mainstream aren't going to really follow to that, whereas we write 2.5 minute long sort of really pop songs, I suppose, and put our little spin on it. But over in Australia, I think there is more of a group of people to appreciate it. But I suppose it just comes from more people being in Australia.
Yeah.
There's more people that are going to be out there and liking you. And I think when we started in Aussie, we've managed to find the right pocket that we sit in immediately from the get-go.
Yeah, we've definitely had trouble finding the right niche, I guess.
Yeah.
We're definitely on the border of mainstream and alternative B-net kind of.
It's weird because previous stuff that we've had taken to radio has been, you'll have people from the stations that will like it, but they just won't add it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
they-
definitely not a bad thing. I mean, it's good to be kind of covering both sides, but yeah, I mean, if I'm not going to bag radio stations, but if both sides did play your stuff, then that's fucking awesome. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that would be really good. But it's just kind of, I don't know, finding the space where that fits or something.
I think it's just a lack of stations here that really support. And great stations like BFM are really good at playing the new stuff, but things on BFM can be relatively short-lived as to how long they last, because they're always putting fresh stuff on there. That the stuff is new becomes old quite quickly, which is great, really, essentially, in the long run.
Hey, we're Clapcap Riot. Be sure to check us out on tour in May with the Australian band The Scare. You can catch us in Littleton on the 5th of May, Dunedin on the 6th, and then Auckland the 7th, and Wellington the 8th of May.
If you want any more details, just go and visit. You can visit Facebook or MySpace or anything like that. It's all Clapcap Riot. And there'll be a website up and running soon, clapcapriot.com, so we'll have all the details on there.
And this is Cheese on Toast.